Welcome back. Well, Elon Musk now sharing his thoughts on the FBI after releasing internal communications between employees and agency officials, suggesting the Bureau had a hand in suppressing the Hunter Biden laptop story. The CEO tweeting he is overall very much pro-FBI before going on to say no organization is perfect and part of the FBI obviously overreached with respect to online censorship. Okay, joining me now by phone, constitutional attorney Jonathan Turley, a George Washington law professor and Fox News contributor. Professor Turley, thanks for joining us today, even if by phone. We always love to have you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. So Elon Musk says the FBI overreached with regard to online censorship. He says there he's pro-FBI, by the way, but that their involvement in Twitter crossed the line with subjects like COVID, Hunter Biden, support for Donald Trump, and the list goes on. What do you say?
Well, what's interesting is that there's really a loss of space in the last few weeks for many of the censorship apologists that are in Congress and the media. You know, for years they denied there was any censorship, that there was any shadow banning, there was any blacklist. All of that was just uniformly denied. And because of Musk, we now know that all of that were lies, that in fact there was this extensive censorship system that was being directed in part by the FBI. So one of the questions that we have is whether Twitter became an agent of the FBI for purposes of the First Amendment. That the First Amendment applies to the government, obviously, but it can also apply to agents of the government, people who are acting on the government's behest. You now have the company itself saying, yeah, we did become an agent of the FBI. We were being directed by the FBI. And that makes things tougher for people who have really struggled to tell the public there's nothing to see here. And one of the things that is most disturbing, quite frankly, is that when these files came out, the FBI attacked many of us who were raising free speech concerns and called all of us collectively conspiracy theorists spreading disinformation. It was highly inappropriate because the FBI has said that combating disinformation is one of its priorities. So it's a very menacing thing when you have the largest law enforcement agency attacking free speech advocates.
Yeah, it is incredible. Certainly a lot of people thought that something was going on behind the scenes, but they couldn't quite figure out what was going on. Now it's all out there. I want to put up on the screen an op-ed that you penned that says that when the FBI attacks its critics as conspiracy theorists, as you were just mentioning, it's time to reform the Bureau. So what do you mean by that? Specifically, what kind of reforms do you think are needed now?
Well, 50 years ago, when Watergate began, there was a bipartisan call for an investigation into the FBI and other agencies in their involvement in domestic politics. And then eventually there were also investigations into the CIA and foreign intelligence agencies that were part of what was called the Church Committee. Now, those investigations reformed all of these agencies. Now, what concerns me is that there was this cacophony of voices back then, the Republicans, Democrats, and most certainly the media, demanding these investigations. Well, that cacophony has been replaced with crickets. I mean, it is complete silence. The media has another blackout on this story, just like the Hunter Biden laptop. They are just refusing to cover what are now confirmed practices like shadow banning, like the censorship program in conjunction with the FBI, the fact that the FBI gave millions to Twitter to censor people. And all of that's been blacked out.
It is hard to find any information on this story. Of course, we're covering it here at Fox. We've been covering it for a long time. But I want to ask you about something you said. You said you were concerned that Twitter became an agent of the FBI. And, of course, that affects the First Amendment. I mean, this looks and smells so bad in terms of the bias by the FBI and other agencies also, the CIA and others. But are there any legal ramifications here?
Well, we've learned some really chilling things in the last couple of years. Perhaps the most chilling is that you can have a state media without having sort of censorship by coercion. You can have censorship by consent. And really the First Amendment dealt with the classic censorship problem, state agencies silencing people. What we've seen the last few years are social media companies working closely, quite frankly, with many Democratic members, demanding censorship of everything from opposing views on climate change to election fraud to many other subjects. And the question is, at what point does that cooperation with the government violate the First Amendment? And it does if there is this agency relationship. Now, what's interesting about what Elon Musk has done, and he has done a great service to this country, in my view, by releasing this information. He's confirmed that the FBI paid social media companies to help them deal with what they call disinformation, which most of us call censorship, but also that they were in continual communication, as were other agencies, targeting specific citizens and specific posters to be banned or suspended. That really does smack of an agency relationship, and that could violate the First Amendment.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. And, Republicans say they're going to be holding hearings on this next year. So we're certainly going to be following that. Jonathan Turley, thank you so much for your legal insights today. Always great to hear from you.
Thank you.